Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Logical Approach, our new channel dedicated to approaching the issues that plague today's society in a logical manner. That's not to say that we think that our opinions are the only right ones or that they're never wrong, but our goal is to share the reasoning that draws us to a particular conclusion. There's never been as many divisive issues as there are today, and with each headline more polarizing than the last, this is really just a soapbox for me to present my take on things. Because like many of you, I have strong opinions on what's going on. I don't necessarily want to change your mind, but I'd like to make you think. Our upload schedule, frequency, our format, all that's up in the air right now because honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. But we could figure it out together. I'd like to maybe do a podcast type show where a few of us sit around and discuss various topics. But right now it's just me sitting in a chair talking to a camera. But that can change, that can evolve. You could help develop what this channel becomes by letting me know in the comment section what you think's working, what's not working, what you'd like to see in the future. Initially, a lot of the topics are probably going to be a little political oriented, but that doesn't mean that it has to be exclusively political. It can be about whatever it is that I'm fired up over that day. And the topics can be inspired from anything like articles that I've read online to discussions I've had with people or even memes that I've came across on social media. And if there's anything that you'd like to know my opinion on or you'd like to see a video made about, let me know in the comments. And if I like it, hopefully I can make it happen. Some of the inspiration for creating this channel comes from the fact that I encounter way too many people who think that restating their original point, only louder, reinforces and validates their view. Way too many people who regurgitate what they've heard on the news and Facebook, yet lack a true understanding of the issue, and still somehow feel compelled to be outraged over it. Way too many people who blindly adopt a point of view because it's conservative or because it's progressive. Which brings me to the topic of the video, choosing sides. Originally, I wasn't going to have a topic for this video. It was just going to be basically the introduction to the channel, so everything you heard me say up until now. But I decided that it was going to be a little short and that I wanted a little bit more meat in the video, a little more content. So I'm going to talk about something that's kind of been frustrating me a little bit lately. And it's usually on Facebook, sometimes in person, but I see a lot of people support things blindly, like I said, because they're conservatives and this is the conservative point of view, or because they're liberals and this is the liberal point of view. And it's just like, I have to believe this one thing because I fall into that category. Or I also see people blowing things out of proportion that really are not big deals. And then worst of all, I see people posting and spreading misinformation and outright lies. I'm not talking about just there's a few facts in their story that aren't completely legitimate, but things that are completely fabricated, entire scandals that never even happened. So right off the bat, if you are a liberal and you support gay marriage, does that mean you also have to support transsexuals choosing what restroom they want? Or let's say you're a righty Republican. Let's say you're a righty Republican. That's not right either. My left is your right, right? Okay. Let's say you're a righty Republican and you support building a wall between the United States and Mexico to keep illegal immigrants out. Does that mean you also have to support banning Muslims from entering the country? My whole point is your views need to determine your affiliation. Your affiliation cannot determine your views. If most of your views tend to be liberal and you affiliate yourself with the left wing, that does not mean that every issue that you come across you have to take up the liberal position on it. And, on the other side, just because you consider yourself a Republican does not mean that you have to walk over here to the right side and you're only allowed to support issues that are tossed at you, that are right-wing issues. So, for an example, I'll bring something up that I think is probably not too controversial anymore. I think most people probably kind of forgot about it. And that's the holiday cup from Starbucks a few months back. And if you don't remember, basically there was a little bit of controversy over the cup that Starbucks chose to represent the holidays. It was just a solid red cup with a Starbucks logo. And it seemed like, I think it made headlines because people had the impression that they were removing Christmas from the cup and therefore anti-Christian. The Republican frontrunner in their primaries is Donald Trump. So you could almost say he's the leading conservative. He said that he was going to not renew Starbucks contracts in the buildings that he owned because of this whole issue. He thought that it was wrong. So if the head conservative takes a position against Starbucks on this issue, does that mean that if you're a conservative, you also have to take the same position? Or is it possible that you, as a conservative or as a Republican, could say, I don't think that Starbucks should have to put Christmas stuff on their cups? That's perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. So my next bullet point is you need to choose your battles. Not every issue that starts going around Facebook or that's in the New York Times or on Fox or MSNBC has to be a big deal. Not every single one of these things is really important. For instance, I came across an article a while back that Obama was playing golf on some golf course, and it forced a wedding to relocate. And, it's sad for them, but I don't think it's really that big a deal. And of course, all these people were bashing Obama big time for it. But realistically, Obama probably didn't have a clue that this wedding was already scheduled for the golf resort or whatever until after it was too late. I'm sure his people called their people and they made all the arrangements because they're not going to bother the president of the United States with it. That doesn't mean that I support Obama. It doesn't mean that I don't support Obama. It means that I think that this stupid game of golf is not that big a deal and that we should not be talking about it in terms of how good our president is. Back to our cup issue. Say conversely, if you are a liberal on the side of the whole cup issue, and you think that Starbucks should be making this holiday cup and it should not have Christmas on it and all this stuff, should you be outraged that there are people saying that there should be Christmas stuff on it? Now, I remember when this all happened, I have a lot of Christian friends on my Facebook, and not a single one of them were upset over this cup issue. Yeah, sure, Donald Trump was upset about it, and the guy some pastor made a YouTube video that went viral that kind of sparked the whole controversy. He was upset about it, but that's pretty much it. Nobody I knew in person at all was upset about this cup, but I seen so many people coming in and saying all you Christians should be ashamed of yourselves and saying all this stuff bad about Christians in general because they're so upset over a cup when nobody was even upset over the cup. So really the people that weren't upset over the cup were the ones that were making it a big deal. So that's not necessarily a battle you have to choose. And for the Christians, I'm saying, or the conservatives rather, they don't need to make it a big deal either. This didn't have to be a big deal. It didn't matter. And my last point is fact check. Make sure you know what you're talking about before you start trying to start an argument or before you try to start, blasting somebody on the other side of an issue. Because there is so much stuff that gets spread around on Facebook and on social media and even in the news it's just not true. I can't believe I'm recommending this website, www.snopes.com. If you never heard of Snopes, basically it's a fact-checking website, and anytime you see these urban legends or these stories that start getting popular and viral, you can go to Snopes and they'll tell you whether it is true or false, and then there's an article. Now, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Snopes is pretty biased when it comes to political issues. So if you type in Starbucks cup Snopes right on the front page before you even get to the website, just on the Google search results, it'll say false. And a lot of times when you click on the link, after you see that it says false, you click on the link, it'll say mostly false all of a sudden. And when it says mostly false, below that it says this was true and this wasn't true. And a lot of the time, when they say mostly false, what they really mean is all of the facts of this story are true, but we disagree that it is a big deal towards the issue. So you really have to go a little deeper than just the Google search results page. But Snopes is still a pretty decent website to tell you when things just really never happened. For instance, for our red Starbucks cup, you go to Snopes, you look up that whole situation, and they'll be quick to point out that Starbucks never even had Christian symbols on their cups in the first place. Sure, they had maybe Santa Claus or Frosty the Snowman, stuff like that, holiday type decorations, but they never had a cross. They never had anything relating to Jesus or Christianity in any way whatsoever. So the fact that this cup is solid red isn't removing anything Christian from the cup in the first place, because it was never there. And Snopes will tell you that. But like I said, take Snopes with a grain of salt. Make sure you read the article and check the sources. I can respect your opinion if you think that Harriet Tubman shouldn't be on the $20 bill, but I can't respect it if you say it's because she's not been a president. These guys, not presidents either. So in closing, just do your research, because it's a little annoying whenever somebody's trying to argue with you, but they're coming at you with, issues that they don't understand, issues that aren't important, and issues that just aren't true. But what's even worse, what's way worse, is whenever you have somebody that is typically on the same side of the coin as you, somebody that shares the same worldview as you, but they are harming your entire worldview by spreading misinformation, blowing things out of proportion, and just not having an understanding of what they're talking about. Because then all the people on the other side of the topic see this, and they just think, well, everybody on that side of the issue is ignorant and idiots, and they don't even know what they're talking about. Because if you really have a problem with President Obama, you're really not getting any credence by complaining about his golf schedule. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you in this one. I promise future videos will be a little bit less middle of the road. You'll know exactly where I fall on certain issues and what I think in upcoming videos. Like I said, in the comments, just let me know what you think that I could do to make this better, and let me know what you want to hear me talk about. I don't know what the next video is going to be, but I have a few ideas. So make sure you subscribe to see what it is, and I'll catch you in the next one.